guys to Let's Build Jurassic Park Part 6. In this episode, after being hugely requested, we finally begin work on the interior of the Jurassic Park Visitor Center. Now in this episode, we work on this huge arcing balcony, spiral staircase and the epic inner workings of the roof that surround that huge Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton. Despite this room looking huge at the minute, there was one detail that needed to be changed, and that was a small lift to the roof itself. So here I lift the entire roof by 2 blocks and then obviously accommodate for this change in size by building up the pillars once again, and then a small development on the actual style of the roof because it's come up again so much higher. I then had to extend down the roof again itself, that thatched nature, because this thatch work within the films comes down right towards the flat surface itself. So again, accommodating for these changes and then going back and making it like incredibly similar to the film itself was hugely important. Now when we come in here, you can see now that huge gap here has been sealed, which was a design choice because now we start working on that balcony. And as you can see, the balcony has its own little roof. So as I'm using these quartz pillars here, the quartz pillars come out about 6 blocks away from the thatched roof. So they come out so far that when you're on the ground itself looking up, you can't really see that interior of the thatched roof itself. The balcony covers it up. So that's why it was sealed, to stop rain falling in and that kind of stuff. So we start working on this balcony design. And again, like every single episode in this Let's Build, I look back to the film's content, the book's content, and just listen to all the sorts of descriptions that characters give, the writers give, all that kind of stuff to make sure I make it as accurate as possible. So the colour scheme was hugely important. That's one of the things you probably noticed straight away is that modern colour scheme. Like it's got lots of greys, lots of whites, and then mixed in with loads of oranges. And because I wanted to emphasise this colour scheme, you can see me leaving little holes and little like gaps in the walkways, as this lets that natural light of Minecraft shine through that, and without those it'd make this room incredibly dark and it looks incredibly depressing. So those little holes are hugely essential. Now, a detail I didn't notice ever within Jurassic Park until obviously analysing it for these builds were these huge dark timber pillars. And again, these are just an extra detail that add that modern aesthetic, that spared no expense style that John Hammond so often likes to say. And so these big dark timber wooden poles kind of hold up that huge thatched ceiling by connecting with the roof of the balconies. So to create these, as you can see, I just use this mixture of actual dark wood and then the dark wooden stairs as well to give that nice diagonal feel, which is often a shape I don't really do in Minecraft, and I feel sometimes it looks a little bit dodgy, and in some cases here you can see why I don't really like to use it. It looks a bit rigid, it loses some of its smoothness, but however they were essential in this design. Now again here we lift up this next section of the roof like we did with the previous one. We had to add in more detail to the windows because this is something I had missed out, and a perfect description in the books by Michael Crichton says that when they arrived at Jurassic Park's visitor center, they noticed some of the windows were barred. So that's kind of this idea here. We've got like sort of metal grey bars over the windows, and this is obviously because of dinosaur escapes. However, that's never alluded to in the films nor really in the book again. It's just that the characters notice that there have been bars installed on the windows that weren't in the original blueprint designs. So those bars were added. And now something else I noticed was in using these blocks of wood to build the roof off, you can actually replace them with upside down stairs to again add that smooth nature. Now here we start working on the stairs, and I skip the whole creation of the stairs due to one reason, is I feel these stairs are temporary. This staircase was a bit of a struggle for me to create, so the content wasn't really there for me to edit together in a nice way. But this is the stairway I created with the double stone slabs and the darker stone in the middle, which again is incredibly accurate to the films. However, in Minecraft I don't think it's been translated very well, so despite it being there now, I feel I'm going to use this as kind of a placeholder until in a later episode I come up with a better way to create these stairs. As this is obviously not finished, this interior is going to take at least 2, maybe 3 episodes. So so you should look out for them coming very, very soon. But you can see this nice smooth curved stairwell that leads us up to the balconies, in which then I'll add doors in, that kind of stuff, which will lead on to extra rooms at a later date. Now I obviously then have to link it in with the rest of the balcony design by using these stairs again. Again, they're incredibly modern designs in Jurassic Park, and that's something, again, like I said, I feel I needed to emphasize. So when I tried to replace them with these wooden fences here and I zoomed out, I feel it kind of turned back into a little bit Minecrafty, like it kind of looked like a bit of a standard design. But I then re-added in those quartz stairs and put the fences on top, because when you look back at the film's content itself, that's actually what it's like. Now guys, we've come to the end of this episode. I've added in some extra glowstone along the top of the roof of the balcony there to give it that nice warm glowing effect. Something I'll add into other areas of the design at a later date, because as I said earlier, we are not at the end of this series yet. There's another 2 or 3 episodes of this interior, and then I'll move on to other parts of the park. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I look forward to see you very, very soon when we begin working on more Jurassic Park builds and Jurassic World. Thank you guys, I'll see you then, goodbye.